remember the very first time when you became a parent? For those of you who have kids. Growing up, I always wanted to have kids, and I'll never forget the day when I became a dad. It was June 20th, 2012. And that year, initially the due date for my daughter was going to be June 17th, 2012, which for that year was Father's Day. So I was very excited because I was going to become a dad on Father's Day. I mean, what a perfect gift. Well, things did not go the way we were thinking it's gonna go. My daughter was born on June 20th. The due date initially was June 17th. So my wife went to the hospital, tried to go into labor that day, but it did not work. It just she had to be induced on June 20th. So the day that my daughter was born, she was 10 pounds, almost 10 pounds. She was a very big baby. The doctors, I remember till this day, the doctors told me, you did not have a toddler. You did not have a newborn, you had a toddler. She was healthy. I mean, she was born with a head full of jet black hair. So anyways, after, when she was born, there were some complications. Things did not go as planned. They had to rush my wife to the emergency room, to the operating room for an emergency C-section because of a major bleeding that was going on. So it took about 4 minutes to get for my daughter to be born. They asked me if I want to stay in the room while they put my wife, sew her back together, put everything back in place where it goes, or if I wanted to go to the nursery with my daughter. I chose to go to the nursery. The doctor said it's not gonna be long. It's just gonna be a quick procedure. It's gonna be done and out. So I went to the nursery, and I'm watching the nurses cleaning my daughter, bathing her, weighing her, getting all that stuff ready as a newborn. And I'm noticing the time. It's taking a long time. I have not heard anything about how's my wife, what's going on. I asked the nurses, and they stated that shouldn't take him very long. She should be out of surgery by now. So by that time, I ended up going back to the room where we're gonna be all. And I was there with my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and there comes the doctor rushing in. Says some things are not going very well. My wife is bleeding, and they cannot stop the bleeding. They asked for my permission to do an emergency partial hysterectomy. And also they wanted us to go to the room just to talk to her and say our goodbyes, because they thought maybe she was not gonna make it, because this was a very serious problem. They had to call another doctor just to try to resolve the problem. So went to the room, talked to my wife, went back to our room. They brought our daughter back into the room waiting for my wife. Shortly after, we got good news. They stopped the bleeding. My wife was in recovery. A couple hours later, they brought her to the room to be with us, and everything was well at that point. With the lesson learned in that is just like you realize that from a very good moment, like all happiness and excitement, things can go wrong and it could turn into like something really bad. That taught me that you gotta appreciate every moment you got with your loved ones. You gotta tell them you love them, because the next minute is not guaranteed. Things can happen from good to bad in just in an instant. Thank you.